back to physics biology classes. So, as in the previous session, we have already discussed about the types of reproduction. So, in that, we have come across the sexual mode of reproduction and asexual mode of reproduction, and the life cycle, which ends the three phases called the juvenile phase, vegetative phase, and then reproductive phase and the senescent phase. The juvenile phase is nothing but a vegetative phase, and then reproductive phase and senescent phase. Likewise, the three phases of life cycle have been studied in the previous session. Today, in this session, we are going to discuss about the stages between the fertilization before and after. That is, the events that takes place during the sexual reproduction. As we know, the event that takes place during the sexual reproduction is by the formation of gamete to the development of a new individual. The whole events have been divided into three major events. Based on that, in the reproduction of living organisms, we have obtained as three events. One is the event that takes place before fertilization is pre-fertilization event. And then after the pre-fertilization, there is fertilization. And then post-fertilization. So these are the three major events that takes place during the sexual reproduction. That is, the pre-fertilization events and fertilization events and the post-fertilization events. So what are these three? Means, as name is indicating, pre refers to early. The fertilization, before the fertilization, whatever the events that takes place, they are all called pre-fertilization events. And during the fertilization means during the gamete formation, because in the pre-fertilization events, the gamete will be produced. That means the gametogenesis will be taken place, and then those gametes will be transferred. That is gamete transfer. The major two events in the pre-fertilization events will be seen as, one is gametogenesis and one is gamete transfer. So these are the two major events that takes place before the fusion of gametes. So gametogenesis and gamete transfer are the two major events that takes place in the pre-fertilization events. Whereas in the fertilization, that is the second phase. That is, fertilization is here, the formed gametes which have been transferred into a particular reproductive structure have been fused by the same gamete. So fertilization event is the formation of the zygote. Whereas in the last, that is post-fertilization. Post means after. After the fertilization, whatever the changes that takes place means after the fusion of gametes, the zygote will be formed and embryo will be developed. That is embryogenesis. So these are the major events we will see in the sexual reproductions. One is pre-fertilization event, other one is fertilization event, and last one is post-fertilization events. Okay, so these are the major three events that takes place during the sexual reproduction. Let us see in detail about these events. The pre-fertilization event, that is gametogenesis and gamete transfer. Dear students, gametogenesis, the name itself is indicating that gamete is synthesizing. Genesis refers to synthesis. So gamete produce ಆಗೋದನ್ನ ಕರೀತೀವಿ gametogenesis ಅಂತ ಕರೀತೀವಿ. ಹಾಗೆ ಅದಾದ್ಮೇಲೆ gamete produce ಆಗಿದೆ ಏನಾಗಬೇಕು, gamete transfer ಆಗಬೇಕು. Okay, so that's why based on the production of gametes, whether the functional gametes which are produced in the same body, both male and female ಅಂತ ನಾವು ಡಿಫರೆನ್ಶಿಯೇಟ್ ಮಾಡೋದಾದ್ರೆ, or whether the functional gametes which are produced which cannot be differentiated into male and female, or which can be differentiated into male and female. Based on that, we can say homogametes and heterogametes. So homogametes refers to what? Here the functional gametes cannot be differentiated into either male or female. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಈ ಮೇಲ್ ಗ್ಯಾಮೆಟ್ ಫಿಮೇಲ್ ಗ್ಯಾಮೆಟ್ ಅಂತ ನಾವು ಐಡೆಂಟಿಫೈ ಮಾಡಿ ಸಪರೇಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಹೇಳಕ್ ಬರಲ್ಲ. ಆ ರೀತಿಯಾದಂತಹ ಮಾರ್ಫಾಲಜಿಕಲ್ ಮತ್ತು ಫಿಸಿಯಾಲಜಿಕಲ್ ಅವು ಸಿಮಿಲರ್ ಇರ್ತವೆ. ದಟ್ಸ್ ವೈ homogametes, they are found in the ಎಸ್ಪೆಷಲಿ ಹೋಮೋಥ್ಯಾಲಿಕ್ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಹೇಗೆ? ಹೋಮೋ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಸೇಮ್, ಥ್ಯಾಲಿಕ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಬಾಡಿ. ಇಫ್ ದೇ ಆರ್ ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಸೇಮ್ ಬಾಡಿ ದೇ ಆರ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಹೋಮೋಥ್ಯಾಲಿಕ್. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತೀನಿ. ಸೊ ದ ಸೇಮ್ ವೇ heterogametes. Heterogametes means what? Here the heterogametes means we can differentiate into both male and female. For example, human. You can take the example of human. Here the male gamete sperm is motile. The female gamete ovum is non-motile. So based on that, based on the motility or based on the reproductive structures or appearance of the gamete, we can differentiate it. So isogamete condition, nothing but the homogamete condition, both are same. Isogamous or homogamous. Here you can see the example as Mucormycidium or Cladophora or Urothrix as the three different examples quoted in our NCERT. Likewise, for the heterogametes, we are having Rhizopus spalonifer, Fucus and Hume. So Rhizopus and this Mucor both are the fungi. Cladophora Urothrix are the algae. Fucus is an Bryophyta, and then Anis the liverwort, and the human as a mammal. So likewise, we are having the different examples. Okay. So next, if we come across this homogamete formation or heterogamete formation, the sexuality is very important, because whether the plant body or an animal body which is having the both male and female sex organs in the same individual, or in the both organs, means the male organ in one individual, female organ in another individual, like means the separate individuals can be identified, the sexual dimorphism can be clearly seen. So based on that, the sexuality, we can differentiate the plants into unisexual and bisexual. So unisexual or bisexual. How? Unisexual and bisexual condition means here the plants which are having both male and female sex organ in the same plant body, then it is called bisexual flower. The plant which is having the both male and female in the same individual, then it is called bisexual plant. The same way we can give the name here is the homothalic. That means the same body is having both the reproductive structures. Here you can see bisexual means both the sexes are present in the same individual. Homothalic, homo refers to same, thalic refers to the body. That's why the same individual is having both reproductive structures. So likewise we can give the names. If it refers to the animals, then we can give another name called hermaphrodite. It refers to both male and female reproductive structures are present in the same animal or an organism. So based on that, the bisexual plants like the coconut, cucurbita, cara, maize. You can easily remember MC cube. M refers to maize, cara, coconut and cucurbita. So MC cube is a simple thing you can easily remember for the bisexual or homothalic or hermaphrodite condition in the plants. For example, for the animals, we can refer earthworm, tapeworm, leech, sponges. So these are the 4 different examples we can quote for them. So then, coming to the another thing is unisexual condition. Means the plant body which is having only one sex, either male or female. Means an individual which bears either only male or in the other individual if they have female, that is unisexual. That is what? The papaya, date palm, and the marchantia we can see. Likewise in the animals, we can see cockroach, ascaris, or in the birds and the frog, or even in the mammals, we can easily identify as the male and the female, right? So likewise, we can differentiate these into unisexual or bisexual, or this unisexual is also called as heterothalic. Based on the condition of this, we can also say it is dioecious and this is monoecious. Don't get confused. See, Once again, regarding this, if the organism bears both the sexes in the same individual, then it is referred as bisexual. Bi refers to two sexes, means both the sexes are present in the same individual. That is homothallic. That means in the same body. Homo refers to say, thallus refers to body. That's why monost is in the same individual. We can find both male and female. That is what we can refer to the animal as hermaphrodites. The same way, we can differentiate them with the unisexual, the organism which bears either male or female. That is what the delicious condition. We can differentiate them based on the two different individuals as a male and female. Whereas they can also be called as one individual in one body we can find either male and in another body we can find a female. That is what it is called heterothallic condition. So likewise, the sexuality is the main reason which makes the gamete formation in the same individual or in the different individuals. So likewise, gametogenesis will take place. During this, the cells which are producing, especially in the earlier condition, we can see the gametogenesis will be either from the haploid body or from the diploid body. For example, earlier algae or some bryophytes or in fungi, we can see the haploid parental body undergoes the mitosis. See, by the mitosis, the haploid parent body undergoes the formation of gametes to form haploid gametes. But whereas diploid parent body undergoes meiotic division to form haploid gametes. Right? So likewise, when we come across algae or some of the early bryophytes, but here we can come across either gymnosperms or angiosperms or mammals or any other earlier organisms. See, haploid parent body undergoes mitosis to produce haploid gametes. Diploid parent body undergoes meiosis to produce haploid gametes. That is what the differentiation is. Clear? So during that, the cells which undergo meiosis, they are called myocytes. The cells which undergo meiosis, they are called myocytes. Okay? So they are called myocytes. The cell which undergo meiosis, they are called myocytes. The same way, after that, they will produce the gametes. So based on this, we can differentiate the chromosome number. This is an individual which are given according to the NCERT. So we can see the chromosome number. Chromosome number in myocytes and gametes. What is this means? The myocyte number is usually the diploid or whatever haploid, but if it is haploid, then they undergo mitosis to produce the gametes. If the myocytes are diploid, means parent body is diploid, they will undergo meiosis to produce gametes. So based on that, we are having the different examples. Fruit fly, house fly, onion, maize, rice, apple, cat, rat, human, potato, dog, and butterfly, Ophioglossum. But the question arises is how to remember these all. Okay, we are having a very simple trick. I will disclose it later. But based on that, we can write 8 is the myocyte chromosome number for the fruit fly. Then 12, 16, 20, 24, then 34, 38, and then 42, 46, 48, 78, and another 380 and 1260. So what is this? How I written all those without remembering and without taking many more minutes or a time, right? Very simple. Have a trick here, but later I will discuss. So fruit fly which is having the chromosome number, that is in a diploid condition. See, this is diploid, myocytes are in diploid, and this is in haploid. So then fruit fly which is having myocyte number 8 means the gametes will be 4, means the gametes number gametes which are having the chromosome number is having 4, and if the housefly which is having chromosome number in meiocyte is 12, then the chromosome in the gamete is 6. Then for onion it is 8. Then for maize it is 10. For rice it is 12. For apple it is 17. And then for cat it is 19. And then for rat it is 21. And for human we are having 23. And for potato it is 24. And then it is 39. And then 190. And then 630. So how? See, the trick is very simple. F O means H. O M R A C R H P D D O. What is this? I have taken all the first steps. This is what we call a technique in the studies of education called mnematics. Means mnemonics we are using here. The mnemonic method, what is this? Means the mnemonic method here we are using is every word's first letter has taken and made up a sentence. What is that? See, we can see this. Final exam में OMR में A and C are right options होता है, फिर D and B options मिल जाता है. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಹಿಂದಿ ನಾವು ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ಸೆಂಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಸರಿ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೋ ಬಿಡುತ್ತೋ ನೆನ್ಪಿಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ಒಂದು ಸೆಂಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಮೀನಿಂಗ್ಲೆಸ್ ಆದ್ರೂ ಪರವಾಗಿಲ್ಲ, ಸಮ್ವಾಟ್ ಗ್ರಾಮಟಿಕಲಿ ಎರರ್ಸ್ ಇರ್ಬೋದು. ಆದರೆ ಫೈನಲ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ OMR ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ A and C are right options होता है, फिर D and B options दे जाता है. ಯಾಕೆ ಮತ್ತೆ ಅವನು ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ. ಸೊ ಫೈನಲ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಫ್ರೂಟ್ ಫ್ಲೈ, ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ house fly, okay. O M R onion, maize, rice. Apple options A and C, apple and cat. Cat ಅಂತ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ರೈಸ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದಿದೆ, ಕ್ಯಾಟ್ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ರ್ಯಾಟ್ ಏನಿದೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ, ಕಾಮನ್ ಜನ ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಂಡು. ಸೊ ಕ್ಯಾಟ್ and rat. Then right options होता है H होता है, फिर P potato, D dog and B butterfly options उपयोग क्लास ಹೇಗೆ ನೆನಪಿಟ್ಕೊಳ್ತಾರೆ? ಸೊ ಫ್ರೂಟ್ ಫ್ಲೈ ಒಂದಕ್ಕೆ 8 ಅಂತ ನೆನಪಿಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ, ಪ್ಲಸ್ 4 ನೋಡಿ 12, ಪ್ಲಸ್ 4 16, ಪ್ಲಸ್ 4 20, ಪ್ಲಸ್ 4 24. ರೈಸ್ ಆದ ತಕ್ಷಣ 10 ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಾ ಆಡ್ ಮಾಡಿ 34. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಇದರಿಂದ ಮತ್ತೆ 4, ಕ್ಯಾಟ್ಗೆ ಮತ್ತೆ ಆಡಿಷನ್ 4 ಆಗ್ತಾ ಬನ್ನಿ. ಅಲ್ಟಿಮೇಟ್ಲಿ ಅಪ್ ಟು ದಿಸ್ ವಿ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಸೇಮ್. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ 30 ಆಡ್ ಮಾಡೋಣ. ಓಕೆ, 48 plus 30 is equal to 78. 48 and 78 is equal to 126. Then ultimately we will have 380 butterfly. ಇದನ್ನ ನೆನಪಿಟ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್. ಸೊ ಈ ರೀತಿಯಾಗಿ ಗ್ಯಾಮೆಟೋಸೈಟ್ಸ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ಮಿಯೋಸೈಟ್ಸ್. ಗ್ಯಾಮೆಟೋಸೈಟ್ಸ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಗ್ಯಾಮೆಟ್ಸ್, ಮಿಯೋಸೈಟ್ಸ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ದ ಸೆಲ್ ವಿಚ್ ಅಂಡರ್ಗೋ ಮಿಯಾಸಿಸ್. ಹೋಪ್ ದಿಸ್ ಟ್ರಿಕ್ ಇಸ್ ವೆರಿ ಯೂಸ್ಫುಲ್ ಅಂಡ್ ರಿಮೆಂಬರಿಂಗ್ ಗೆ ಈಸಿ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಅನ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ಸೊ ಫೈನಲ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನೀಟ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ಅಂತ ನೀವಿದ್ದೀರಾ, ಫೈನಲ್ ಇನ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಏನು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು? OMR में A and C are right options है, right rat options होता है, फिर D and B options मिल जाता है. ಅಲ್ಲಿದ್ದೇ ABCD 4 ಆಪ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಇರ್ತವೆ, ಅದೇ ನೆನ್ಪಿಟ್ಕೋಬೇಕು. 8 ಇಂದ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ, ಪ್ಲಸ್ 4 ನ ಆಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಬನ್ನಿ. ಅಲ್ಟಿಮೇಟ್ಲಿ ರೈಸ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ಆಪಲ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಾ ಆಡ್ 10 ಮಾಡಿ, ಆ ನಂತರ ಕೊನೆಗೆ ಪೊಟ್ಯಾಟೋ ಇಂದ ಡಾಗ್ಗೆ 30 ಆಡ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಉಳಿದಂಥದ್ದು ನಮಗೆ ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ. ಅಂಡ್ ಪೊಟ್ಯಾಟೋ ಅಂಡ್ ಡಾಗ್ ಎರಡು ಸೇರಿದ್ರೆ 126 ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ 0 ಆಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ. ದೆನ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ 38 ಇಷ್ಟಲ್ಲಿ. ಸೊ ನೆನ್ಪಿಟ್ಕೋಬೇಕು, ನಾರ್ಮಲ್ ಆಗಿ ನೆನ್ಪಿಟ್ಕೋಬಹುದು, ಅದರಲ್ಲೂ ಎಲ್ಲದೂ ಅಟ್ ಎ ಟೈಮ್ ನೆನ್ಪಿಟ್ಕೋಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಈ ರೀತಿ ಟ್ರಿಕ್ಸ್ ಕೂಡ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ವಾಟ್ ದ gametes and myocytes having the chromosome number with respect to the NCERT given examples. Hope this is useful. Right? Well, so after this, ಇಷ್ಟೆಲ್ಲ ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ನೋಡೋದಾದ್ರೆ, ಲೆಟ್ಸ್ ಸಿ, ಗ್ಯಾಮೆಟ್ ಫಾರ್ಮೇಷನ್ ಆಗಿದೆ, ಈಗ ಗ್ಯಾಮೆಟ್ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಫರ್ ಆಗಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ಡ್ಯೂರಿಂಗ್ ದ ಗ್ಯಾಮೆಟ್ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಫರ್ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಸಿ ದ ಗ್ಯಾಮೆಟ್ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಫರ್ ನೀಡ್ಸ್ ಐದರ್ ಇನ್ ಅರ್ಲಿ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ಸ್, if you can see the algae or fungi, both male and female gametes are motile. But in the higher organisms, only the male gamete is motile, female gamete is non-motile. That is what I said in the homogamous and heterogametic condition. So for that, the media is required. The media is called water. The external media, through this water media, the gametes will be transferred from one organism to another organism or from one structure to the another reproductive structure. So we can see in the bryophytes or in the gymnosperms, angiosperms. But in our higher plants, as we are knowing, the pollination is a special mechanism. For this pollination, we are having different agencies. That agents will be seen in the chapter called sexual reproduction in flowering plants. So, the sexual reproduction in flowering plants are pollinating agents next to clear? So, next, likewise, whether the gametes which are being transferred from a same plant, that means they are self-pollination. The pollen of one flower to the stigma of the same plant or same flower which are of this genetically similar, then it is self-pollination. If it is cross-pollination, means the transfer of pollen grains from one flower to the another flower of a different plant, that is genetically dissimilar plant, that is called cross-pollination. Likewise, we are having the gamete transferring events. For example, for an animal, as we have seen, in higher organisms, the copulatory structures, the reproductive structures like the penis are likewise, the copulatory organs are present. From that, a male individual will transfer the gametes from a male to the female reproductive organs or female genitalia. So likewise, the gamete transferring will occur. What after this gamete transfer? That is the fertilization. Fertilization is an event where the permanent fusion of the male and the female gamete will take place to form a new individual through the formation of zygote and undergoes forced fertilization changes. Then what is the fertilization? That is nothing but syngamy, what I said. Syn refers to gamy refers to marriage. ಯಾವುದಾದ್ರು ಯಾರು ಮ್ಯಾರೇಜ್ ಆಗ್ತಂದ್ರೆ ಅದು ಕೂಡುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಅರ್ಥ. ಸೊ ಈ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ syngamy ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಸೊ ಫರ್ಟಿಲೈಸೇಷನ್ ಇಸ್ ಅನದರ್ ನೇಮ್, syngamy ಅಂತ ಕೂಡ ನಾವು ಕರಿಬಹುದು. ಯಾಕೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಿದ್ರೆ here it is permanent fusion of two gametes, that is called syngamy. That is the main event that takes place during the fertilization. But this fusion is either external fusion, that is external fertilization, or it may be internal fertilization. The external fertilization means here the algae or the bryophytes, the algae or the amphibians or in some fishes, or especially bony fishes, we will see the more number of gametes, especially the male gametes or even in the female gametes, have been produced in the aquatic medium. This one you can see is the algae usually in the aquatic, they require water medium. Our bony fishes, they are aquatic. Even the amphibians, they require water for the reproduction. That's why the aquatic media is required, where the more number of gametes will be produced. Why? There may be the synchronization usually, but if even though it is synchronization is exhibiting, along with the, there may be the chances of failure of fusion. ಇಲ್ಲೇನಾಗಬಹುದು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅಕ್ವಾಟಿಕ್ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ವಾಟರ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮೋರ್ ನಂಬರ್ ಆಫ್ ಗ್ಯಾಮೆಟ್ಸ್ ನ ಆಲ್ಗೆ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಬೋನಿ ಫಿಶಸ್ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಆಂಫಿಬಿಯನ್ಸ್ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತವೆ. ಆದರೆ ಮೋರ್ ನಂಬರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾಕೆ ಗ್ಯಾಮೆಟ್ಸ್ ನ ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತವೆ? ಹೆಚ್ಚಾಗಿ ಹೇರಳವಾದಂಥ ಗ್ಯಾಮೆಟ್ಸ್ ಗಳನ್ನ ಯಾಕೆ ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತವೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಆಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಗ್ಯಾಮೆಟ್ಸ್ ವಾಟರ್ ಮೀಡಿಯಾದಲ್ಲಿ ಫ್ಯೂಸ್ ಆಗುವಂತ ಚಾನ್ಸಸ್ ಬಯೋಟಿಕ್ ಮೀಡಿಯಾ ಇರಲ್ಲ, ಅದು ಏರ್ಬಯೋಟಿಕ್ ಮೀಡಿಯಾ. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಅವು ಎಕ್ಸಾಕ್ಟ್ಲಿ ಫ್ಯೂಸ್ ಆಗ್ತಾವ ಆಗಲ್ಲ ಅನ್ನೋ ಚಾನ್ಸಸ್ ಕಡಿಮೆ. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಫೇಲ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇರ್ಬೋದು. ಆ ಒಂದು ರೀಸನ್ಗೆ ಇದೇನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಗ್ಯಾಮೆಟ್ಸ್ ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡೋದು. ಅದೇ ರೀತಿ ಇಂಟರ್ನಲ್ ಫರ್ಟಿಲೈಸೇಷನ್ ಅಂತ ಬಂದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವು ನೋಡ್ಬೋದು, ಆಲ್ಗೆ ಬಿಟ್ರೆ ಇನ್ನು ಬರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಬ್ರಯೋಫೈಟ್ಸ್, ಪೆಡೋಫೈಟ್ಸ್, gymnosperms and angiosperms in the plant, ಇವೆಲ್ಲವೂ ನಾನು ಹೇಳಿದಾಗೆ ಇಂಟರ್ನಲ್ ಫರ್ಟಿಲೈಸೇಷನ್ ಆಗ್ತವೆ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಫೀಮೇಲ್ ಗ್ಯಾಮೆಟ್ ನಾನ್ ಮೊಟೈಲ್ ಬಟ್ ಮೇಲ್ ಗ್ಯಾಮೆಟ್ ಮೊಟೈಲ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಈ ಮೇಲ್ ಗ್ಯಾಮೆಟ್ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಡಿಫ್ರೆಂಟ್ ಏಜೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಇಂದ ವಾಟರ್ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ವಿಂಡ್ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಅಥವಾ ಬಯೋಟಿಕ್ ಪಾಲಿನೇಟರ್ಸ್ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಇನ್ಸೆಕ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಅಥವಾ ಈ ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ನಾವೇನೋ ಬರ್ಡ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ, ಎಲ್ಲರ ಮೂಲಕ ಯಾವುದೋ ಒಂದು ಮೀಡಿಯಾ ಮೂಲಕ ಅದೇನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಫರ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಆದರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಮೇಲ್ ಗ್ಯಾಮೆಟ್ ಎಕ್ಸಸ್ ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಲಾರ್ಜ್ ನಂಬರ್ ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಎನಾನಮಸ್ ನಂಬರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಫೀಮೇಲ್ ಗ್ಯಾಮೆಟ್ ವೆರಿ ಲೆಸ್ ಇನ್ ನಂಬರ್, 1 or 2 ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಯಾಕೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಮೇಲ್ ಗ್ಯಾಮೆಟ್ ಹೊರಗಡೆಯಿಂದ ಮತ್ತೆ ಒಂದು ಮೀಡಿಯಾದಿಂದ ಒಂದು ಮೀಡಿಯಾಗೆ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ, ಆದರೆ ಫೀಮೇಲ್ ಗ್ಯಾಮೆಟ್ಗೆ ಹೋಗಿ ಇದು ರೀಚ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ನಂಬರ್ ಆಫ್ ಮೇಲ್ ಗ್ಯಾಮೆಟ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ರಿಕ್ವೈರ್ಡ್. ಅದೇ ರೀತಿ ಅನಿಮಲ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಬೆಸ್ಟ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಅಂತ ತಗೋಬಹುದು. ಅನಿಮಲ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹ್ಯೂಮನ್ ದ ಸ್ಪರ್ಮ್ಸ್ ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಹ್ಯೂಮನ್ ಮೇಲ್ ಆರ್ ಮೋರ್ ಇನ್ ನಂಬರ್, ಬಟ್ ದ ಓಮ್ ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಫೀಮೇಲ್ human is only 1 for a month. So that's what the example we can quote here. Humans are even reptiles, are even males. So these are all the different individuals or organisms which undergo internal fertilization. So during this fertilization, the gamete will be fused. That's what the syngamy will take place. What after this fertilization? That is the post-fertilization events. Post means after, fertilization means the gamete fusion. That is after the fertilization, the post-fertilization event will take place. What is zygote formation? The male and female, both haploid gametes, will fuse to form diploid zygote. This zygote, after the formation, will undergo cell division and cell differentiation. This is very important, and for 1 mark they may ask, and even in the CET also they are having these questions. The major event that takes place during the post-fertilization is formation of zygote and embryo, and the zygote will undergo cell differentiation and cell division. The cell division will increase the more number of cells, and ultimately that leads to the formation of tissues, organs, and all organ system to form a whole individual organism. So during that, those large number of cells need to be undergo differentiation. Which cell needs to be skin, which cell needs to be in muscles. Likewise, every cell has been allotted to particular functions to form a particular system in an individual. That is what the cell division and cell differentiation, the major 2 events from zygote formation to individual, they are happening. Ultimately, which leads to the embryogenesis, and during this embryogenesis, we can see the development of embryos. But as we know, some are egg-laying, some are directly giving birth to the individuals, and some are fertilized eggs which have been given birth from a parent. That's what the 3 different conditions called oviparous animals or oviparous individuals, viviparous or viviparous individuals, and ovoviviparous individuals. Ovo refers to egg. So those individual, parous means to bear, those individual which bears or which lays the eggs, they are called oviparous. Those individual which directly gives birth to the young ones, they are called viviparous. But here, the organisms which lays the egg, which are fertilized, and then they will give birth to the young ones, but without giving the placental nourishment, because they are not having placenta. They are having only yolk membrane. This yolk, which is present in the fertilized eggs, they are giving nourishment. That's why in ovoviviparous, ovo refers to the egg, vivi refers to the birth of a young one. So from the egg to fertilized egg, they will be hatched out in the female or whatever parent or body. Not only the female, some animals are having like sea which are having a male which gives rise to the birth of a new individual. The fertilized eggs which are in the good batch. So that's why ovoviviparous. Here there is the absence of placenta. So placenta is absent, but the yolk will give the nourishment. Hence, there will be no parental nourishment. Directly only egg yolk will give the nourishment for the development of new Best example is the scientific name of shark. So shark ಅಥವಾ ಡಾರ್ಕ್ ಫಿಶ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ ನಾವು. ಶಾರ್ಕ್ ಅಂಡ್ ರಾಟಲ್ ಸ್ನೇಕ್ ನಾವು ಯೂಶುವಲಿ ಡೆಸರ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಸೊ ಇದು ಓವಿವಿಪರಸ್ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್. ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ವಾಟ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ಓವಿವಿಪರಸ್? ನಮಗೆ ನಾರ್ಮಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಗೊತ್ತಿರೋ ಹಾಗೆ ಎಗ್ ಲೇಯಿಂಗ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. ಎಗ್ ಲೇಯಿಂಗ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದರ ಫರ್ಟಿಲೈಸ್ಡ್ ಎಗ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ಲೇ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು ಅಥವಾ ಅನ್ಫರ್ಟಿಲೈಸ್ಡ್ ಎಗ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ಲೇ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. The fertilized eggs which are being laid by the higher organisms like the bacteria or maybe the apes with the calcareous shell on their egg. That eggs are called cleodic eggs ಅಂತ ಕರೀತೀವಿ. So cleodic eggs ಅಂತ ಕರೆದ್ರೆ ನಾವು ಅದನ್ನ ಏನಂತ ಕರೀತೀವಿ? Calcareous shell is present that prevents them from the breakages, unusual breakages ಅನ್ನು ಅದು ಪ್ರಿವೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. Unfavorable conditions ಅನ್ನು ಅದು ರೆಸಿಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡೋಕೆ ರೆಡಿ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. Along with that some monotherians ಅಥವಾ prototherians. Monotherians or prototherians ಅಂದ್ರೆ early mammals ಅಂತ ಏನು ಕರಿತೀವಿ ಆ ಆರ್ಗನಿಸಮ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಈ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ನೋಡಬಹುದು. ಸೊ ದೇ ಆರ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ egg laying mammals ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. Likewise, as you have the egg laying mammals along with the reptilians and apes ಅಂದ್ರೆ birds ಮತ್ತೆ ಇದನ್ನ along with that lower organisms are having unfertilized eggs. That is fishes and amphibians. External media that ನಾವು external fertilization ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. The same way they lay the egg, they are oviparous. If they give directly birth, that is viviparous, usually you can see that you and the true therian is a true placental animals called some mammals, especially now in the number example I go human mammals. Okay, so likewise the oviparous, viviparous, ovoviviparous, the condition exists. So based on this we have divided the animals. Next, the same way in the flowering plants we can see are in the angiosperms ಅಂತ ಏನು ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ after the fertilization the diploid oospore will form, that is zygote ಅಂತ ಕರೀತೀವಿ. Along with the triploid primary endosperm cell formation ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. Primary endosperm cell, diploid zygote or oospore and triploid primary endosperm cell. The zygote, that is later on will reach the individual development of the seed, that is ovule will be developed into seed, ovary will be developed into the fruit, and ovarian wall will be developed as a pericarp. The same way, the triploid primary endosperm cell will undergo changes to form endosperm. The zygote will lead to the formation of embryo. So these are the major events. Along with the sepals and petals, usually except the hibiscus and some other Sonesi members, we can see all other non-essential organs like the calyx and corolla, the petals and sepals will be fallen off. That's why the post-fertilization events in the flowering plants are majorly falling off and fading of the sepals and petals or calyx and corolla, except hibiscus and Solanacea members. The persistent calyx can be seen in tomato, chili, likewise. Along with the diploid, that means egg cell is fused with the one male gamete, that is the syngamy, and triple fusion, that is the polar nuclei, polar cells, especially the polar nuclei in the central cell is fused with another male gamete. These two events are called double fertilization event. This we will study in the next chapter very detailedly. Okay, so due to the double fertilization, the diploid oospore has leads to the zygote or whatever the embryo formation, and primary endosperm cell leads to the formation of endosperm, and ovule will be turned into seed, ovary will be turned into the fruit, ovarian wall will be turned into the pericarp. Ultimately, the parental chromosome number will be retained based on the parent as whether they are being a haploid parent, then they will undergo mitosis. Whether they are having a diploid parent body, then they are going to undergo meiosis to retain and restore the parental chromosome number. So likewise, we have to see that different individuals are undergoing different mechanism based on their habitat, based on their physiological organization and morphological structures. So these are about the different kinds of reproduction mechanisms in the different levels of organisms. So hope these 3 sessions of reproduction in organisms are clear and somewhat beneficial. So keep tuned for further video updates and stay home, stay safe. Have a continued learning. See you. Thank you.